Hi, I'm Ted.
I'm Justin.
I'm Kodie.
And
We're
Motions.
welcome to
VIP Pass. See ya. Keep simultaneously.
Hello and welcome back to VIP Pass, episode 23, maybe. I'm one of your hosts, Brennan, joined as always by
Jesse, what up?
not much, just a chill day. Been keeping busy. This is a kind of a special episode. We got some special guests in the studio. We got we got Motions.
No way.
Get out.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Cut to that camera. Motions.
Cute.
This is so much effort for that review.
You'd be the worst stripper ever, man. I want my money back after seeing that shit.
It was kind of almost ruined because Kodie arrived at the same time I did.
Yeah.
I didn't have my jumper on when I hopped out of my car, so I had to cover it with the bag I was holding.
You're really trying to conceal that.
Yeah.
That's so
It
cute.
was such a big thing. Are you not impressed?
I'm impressed by his efforts, to hide it.
Yeah, I had to stand in the corner, put my jumper on.
That's awesome.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Cool. Welcome. How are we doing today, boys?
Good.
Yeah.
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 It's Sunday. Oh, wait, I can say what day it is, right?
Yeah.
So this is Sunday. What's today's date? And this happened in the news. No, I'm really good. It's been a nice day. So.
That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Hmm.
So, do you guys just want to tell our fans what kind of music you are, what you do, to people that don't know?
This is the worst question ever. It never really. I know, it's very hard to explain your own music, I think. But
It's like rock and roll.
yeah. But yeah, when you say it's just rock music, people are like, "What?
AC/DC.
Foo Fighters?" Or,
Steely Dan.
you know what I mean? It's just it's very broad, but it fits into that kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I think we mix a few different things together. But
Yeah, few different influences
yeah,
for sure.
I think we
I don't know if you want to call it post-hardcore as well,
Yeah.
post-rock.
yeah, we come from different backgrounds, musically. But I grew up on heavy music, as did Justin and that. But I never played in heavy bands, but Justin did. I don't know, Kodie, what kind of music did you?
Just indie.
Indie, yeah.
Indie
But I think we pull some of that stuff as well. Pull influence from all over the place. So
Yeah.
I think it's fits into that basket of alternative rock. But I think we kind of branch into stuff that's not traditionally that kind of music.
But still, still something that we try to keep relatively, not consciously, but accessible as well. In terms of me being in this band, I think it's been the easiest to sell to my friends, because I've always just been used to projects. It's either real niche, indie folk sort of stuff, or just balls heavy sort of stuff. So to have a nice in between, where it's a nice mix. Sorry, I'm a bit far away. Where it's a nice mix of some of the heavier aspects, as well as with Ted singing, adds to it as well. And yeah, it's just been a nice mix. And I don't know. Yeah, again, it's not really a conscious thing that we're doing. It just happens to be that people from all sorts of facets can listen to it and enjoy it, and that sort of thing too. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's cool. You can have a metal fan come up to you in a show and be like, "Oh, I really like your music." And traditionally, metal fans are very much like metal, and that's it. But it's good.
Where's the chunks?
Yeah.
Well, at one of your shows, one of the live house, a pit opened up, just in a song, just in an instrumental break, a pit opened up. I was like, God damn.
Yeah. There's things that you don't expect at a Dan Baker show. Even though that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Singing opens up, it's get your mother, fucking get it.
I suppose that comes down to me too when we're writing music. It's I still want to be able to have fun. I don't want to be just singing all the time and be that kind of stressed about what I'm doing on the stage that I don't get a time to just kind of rock out with the lads. And so I suppose we try and incorporate instrumental parts into the songs that are a bit heavier and a bit wilder, so people can kind of have fun, but I can have fun, as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you're really just trying to encourage those crowd kills and those death walls.
All your gigs. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
No, I definitely seen you guys play before, and there was one time that otherwise you all had your eyes closed, you're just jamming out to the music. I was like, that's really cool. These guys are just in the moment and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're just really bored.
Yeah, you're like, when's Wax coming on? I'm just tired. Tired of drumming. Tired of playing.
Just snoring reverb.
Yeah, no. No, that was a fun show. We had a good time.
Mm.
Yeah. We all thought that we played like shit, but apparently we did. So
Nice.
yeah.
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 A couple of technical difficulties. Oh,
Yeah, with the bass.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, bloody
Bruised.
Don't really know what happened there, but I think
plugged it back in, good to go.
turn it on and off again. Yeah.
Yeah. And has that been your most recent show? Have you done any since then at all?
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of like gigs have you guys played? Like, is your time as a band? Like,
Like back when Justin and I first started the band, we had a couple of other members. We had our mate Luke and Ozzy on. So Luke was on guitar, Ozzy was on bass, and our first show was upstairs at Molly's, I think, in 2017.
First actual band show.
Yeah, as a band. Like Justin and I had played together because I don't know, I wrote a lot of these songs years and years ago, and I always wrote them with a band in mind, but could never meet people, and then I just started networking, met Justin, and that's how it all kind of started. So we started playing together, and then just got a few more members.
Just as a two-piece as well. So yeah, obviously we were always yearning for something a bit wider, but we actually played a handful of shows, just us two, which is a little bit weird to look back on. Like there's some footage I actually showed on Facebook. Like last week was when it was like 3 years since our first shows together. It's just odd just seeing us two like on stage, but we're still trying to fill out the sound as much as we could.
Just chucking as much
It's like-
reverb
it's
on
like-
my guitar
yeah.
as possible.
Yeah.
Make it sound wider than it was. But
Yeah, it was like motions light sort of thing. You know?
Yeah.
It was like there. So
Yeah.
that's good.
and then how long's it been since like the motions roster we know like at the moment?
Well, that was the start of this year, like that Kodie came on board,
Yeah,
wasn't
I
it?
guess so.
So the COG show at the start of the year.
No,
which
before
is-
then, I think.
No,
Was it?
British India.
Oh yeah, end of last year we played it. What
Late
is now
October too.
Otherwise the
Yeah,
Office
yeah.
back then with British India.
Yeah.
So that was fun with Kodie's other band late November.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
So he didn't have to move too far from the stage at all. Really.
No, it's
Yeah, it's important as a bass player. You can just stand in one spot
Mm.
and just
Yeah.
go nuts. Minimal strings, minimal effort. That's all you need. And then, so you said British India. That's pretty cool. Big indie band. Like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, like we're not quite in their, I don't know, playing field, but we can still play a show like that and not be too out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, going back to like, I guess our sound is that I guess it's diverse enough in a way that we could sort of get on those bills where it's not too far out of place. Like even this Wax show, some aspects of that were like, you know, it's a bit like sort of heavier, grungy sort of rock, but I know like they asked us to play, and like in the grand scheme of things, consider the band that opened up, Machine as well. Like they were like, it was a nice, just even sort of break of different kinds of music. So the whole bill itself wasn't too crazy that people were like losing interest in another act. It's like, oh, so there's more of a reggae rock, and then there's Motionless, like whatever we are, and then Wax sort of closed it off. So it was just a nice sort of bill. The British India show was more or less the same sort of thing, late North opening, Motions, and then British straight after as well. So it's good to be part of those sort of bills as well. And earlier this year, as Cog mentioned, Ted mentioned the whole Cog thing. Like that lineup itself was probably one of the heavier ones that we're on. But we still obviously can sort of meld ourselves to fit that sort of thing as well. So apart from that one metal show we did in Mackay where it was like it was all just screamo and we could just tell that everyone was just bored by the first few parts of our shit. So
Like our mate Jaden, it was one of his band was playing, and it was one of his shows, and it was, you know, awesome that he wanted us on because he really likes us. But we didn't quite fit that show. And I was a bit sick, so it was a little bit of a, you know, one of those moments. But you have those shows, and that's all right. But
Native Tongue, that's Jaden's band. They're killing it at the moment. So you know, flips out and stuff, everything too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jaden was awesome enough to ask us to play that show in Mackay with them. With a whole host of other bands from down south, but they were all pretty heavy. And then you have Ted just singing his heart out, like being all swoony and stuff. And then there was like just so many disinterested metal fans that then you were like far out. Like
it wasn't our show, but you know, it happens.
Yeah, exactly, it happens. So.
And then like your singing is all like clean vocals. It's not screaming. That is that something you guys have actually considered like for your band at all?
Oh, look, not heavily. Like, not to say we wouldn't like have some maybe backing tracks, like, you know, like supporting vocals that were a bit heavier, like underneath, but never like in the forefront. I don't think. Not at this point anyway. And not to say we wouldn't ever have anyone in to do some guest vocals or something, but it's not really doesn't fit in super well with what we're doing.
I feel like what Justin was talking about earlier, that's where it can maybe start to get a bit alienating, I guess, to people who aren't interested in that, because I don't know, they just hear somebody screaming and they're like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's not like, yeah, okay, we think about it, but we don't let that be the overarching thing of how we make music or anything.
Yeah.
We don't want to be like, no, we can't do this because people won't like it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got to be kind of true to ourselves and who this band is. Like, I think if we go too far one way, then it becomes like a different band. And yeah.
What kind of is like your process for writing music like?
It's pretty disjointed at the moment. It's like, because I don't know, a lot of these songs like Feather and stuff like that were
I hope that.
yeah, that's,
So we pick up
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We can wait. Hi, Dad.
It's a V8 engine, right?
Yeah, so like a lot of those songs I wrote years ago by myself on an acoustic guitar. And so there's a few songs like that we have in our set that I wrote quite a while ago, and then I brought them to the table with the band and we developed them. And so they were already a skeleton song before they were even like everyone else was involved, I guess.
Yeah.
But so I think we're still learning how to write music together. That's kind of where I'm getting at. So we haven't quite got there yet because a lot of our songs are old and have been around for a while. So we're trying to like figure out what best works for us. We haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
In terms of like a lot of the older materials, obviously mainly Ted, but I think Jason had mostly
So
doing Bruised.
Bruised, like the whole like instrumental side of Bruised was all written by Jason.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell when you listen to that song because it is quite different to like a lot of the other music that I've written. Because I fall into a bit of a trap with some of my writing style. I can some of the chords I use are very much Ted chords, like they're just stuff that I fall into a lot. But it was good to have Jason come in with that, and he showed me, and I was like, this is awesome. And it's so like my brain doesn't quite think like his does, and which is good because you want that kind of diversity in music. So as soon as he showed me, I was like, he had a couple of different ideas with how it was going to sound because he just recorded it at home, like just a skeleton kind of thing on his computer. And the chorus was a little bit different the way he wanted to do it, but kind of motions it up a bit and just made it a bit more like powerful, like yeah. But other than that, it was pretty much all him. And then I came up with the lyrics, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then did you guys come in and like chuck drums and bass over top, or like what was that process for you guys like?
He did have a pretty good idea, for me at least,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I wanted my part to be. But yeah, he was still pretty open to like me putting my own spin on that, which is awesome.
Yeah. With Jason's writing, because we've been in bands together for ages, like I'm always used to him, and he's a good like writer for drums and stuff as well, but he always trusts me to do my wanky shit over it too. So I don't know if I could swear or whatever. But yeah, like, so he obviously had the skeleton drum track written out and everything else like that. But I think with like any motion song, like, I just add my little flavors and blemishes and all that sort of thing over it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, he trusted, like he would tell me if there was something that he felt I was doing wrong, like should be like, sometimes I'd overcomplicate stuff a lot, and he would just tell me bluntly, like, I just want like a steady pulse or something like that, and it just adds to the whole power of the whole passage of a certain song as well, and it makes sense. Like, yeah, I'm not usually one to like be open about people telling me how to do my thing, but like, obviously it works out, and I should really trust that process a bit more. If they're writing, it's like if they want things a certain way, so yeah, I'll be a bit more open to it. So yeah, I'm still learning.
Yeah, I think like I said, we're still very young as a band, especially with this lineup. Like, we've had different members before, but with this lineup that we've been solid with for it's not even a year yet, so writing together is still something that, and because like with work and stuff, we're away at different times, so that makes it hard for us to all just get together. But we're getting there. Yeah.
Fair enough. And then two of you guys are in, well, actually three of you guys are all in like two bands as well, and then you've got like your solo music you do as well. So how's that, like, what's the balance like for you guys being in like different bands and that, and like doing motions?
Like, it's a bit hectic. Like that whole Live House month, like, just bit cooked. Basically rehearsing like every night of the week leading up to gigs, like for like two straight weeks, I think. Yeah, between both late knob and motions, which can be a bit tiring. You just kind of want to be able, but when the show comes around, you're kind of like, okay, this is what it's for. You know, it's all worth it then. But yeah, definitely takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
Are you saying you're quitting like one of the bands right now or something?
Still decided.
Still announce on the VIP.
Yeah, it's an exclusive we're getting right now.
No.
I guess with me, it's a little easier and harder because literally last weekend, because my other band in Brisbane before the Harvest, we had a show lined up for the next night after Otherwise. So I did the Otherwise launch with Motions, and I flew down to Brisbane the next morning to do the show with Harvest. But the thing is, like, I wish, like, I got to prioritize my certain things as well, which I do, but it depends who asks me first to do a show, because we actually asked to do the Cairn show with Wax at Gillies the next night. They would have like sorted us out with accommodation. It was a real sweet deal. So, but because I was doing this freaking metal show in Brisbane, I had to be like, oh man, like I sort of wish I knew about this, like that we were asked to do a bit earlier, because I would have maybe been able to prioritize a bit more. But Harvest asked me that a little while ago, and we only had to do like 3-4 gigs a year. So at this point, until we like release a new album or something like that. So, but apart from Harvest Motions, I do like all my cover stuff on weekends as well. Which is fine. I haven't had any conflicting really things. Like all the people that I play with on Flinders or whatever, they respect if I need to bail for a Motions show. Like they appreciate it's like the original music, because obviously these guys love original music too. So big ups to like everyone that like takes me bailing like a week before and like have to ask another drummer to play with them because of a Motions gig. But so far so good, apart from that thing last weekend where I actually had double booked sort of thing. Like it's actually been pretty sweet. So lucky, I guess, so far.
Well, for me, like my solo stuff, it's been a bit. I haven't done it for a while. The only, you just got a taste of that at the live house. I played a song that I just really wanted to play that because it's something I'd written like that week, and we got the little encore thing, and the band didn't have any more songs, so I was like, well, I may as well do this. But as far as being conflicting at all, it's not for me. Like Motions is my kind of number one priority. I do everything else at whatever pace I need to. But as far as like this is my first band. Like I've played music like since I was a kid, but when I was in high school, I could just never meet people committed enough to actually want to chase writing music and perform, like playing shows and stuff. Like I used to live in Yeppoon down in central Queensland. And because I didn't have a license, all the shows were in Rocky, and sometimes I could get up for a show, but I didn't know anyone up there, so I'd be this random kid at like hardcore and punk shows and stuff, and it was awesome, and I like really looked up to these kids playing music together, but I could never do that myself, because I just couldn't meet people who were interested enough, I guess. So yeah, I suppose that's why I did start doing my solo stuff in the first place, was because it was more out of like frustration than anything. It was just like, well, if I can't do it with anyone else, I may as well do it by myself. Otherwise, I'm never going to do anything. So yeah, I just started picking up an acoustic guitar, and just getting some melodies in my head, and just went with it for a while. And then I kind of gave music away when I was working in Victoria for a bit. I just wasn't really doing it much. And then when I moved to Townsville, probably first year I didn't do much, and then I met a few people and started networking. There was some guys in Townsville, Stephen Lewine, they're like a kind of reggae rock band that were kicking around a few years ago. They were all friends of mine, and then they started getting me to like open the night just by myself. And that just kind of segued me into the Townsville music scene. And also probably one of my first shows that I ever played was for and it was just like hopped up last minute. I was at Sam and Nicole. Well, it was actually just Sam's thing at the time, the Rec Room. I don't know if you guys know about that. Yeah, like his recording studio he used to have nice little shows, kind of like the neighborhood stuff they do now, but it was like a lot smaller and intimate inside the recording studio there. I used to go to those because I thought that was pretty cool, kind of BYO gigs. And then one night, like Sam knew that I did some music and he just asked me to hop up, and that was how that kind of relationship with those guys started, and I played a few songs there, and yeah, I just think over the years it's just developed into what it is now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, like, how'd you guys all meet? Like, current lineup as well, and like, how did we get to this point?
So, like me and Justin, like, obviously we're like founding members of this band. We met. I think, like, I had all these ideas for songs in my head, like I said before, and I did, like, the only drummer that I'd seen out that I knew had that kind of versatility was Justin, and I didn't know him. I just knew that he played heavy music, which I liked heavy music, but I also knew that he could fit in with stuff that wasn't heavy. And so I just messaged him straight up, I'm pretty sure, just like, out of nowhere. I just, sent him a message and said, this is what I'm doing. Would you like to meet up? And I'm pretty sure he was living, I don't know, can't remember where he was living. He had electric drum kit.
Yeah.
A spare room at your house.
Yeah. Back in Condon, I had a room all decked out for music stuff. And he brought an amp along and plugged the electric in that as well. And just nodded out. I can't even remember what they were.
Yeah, they were a bit like cheesy at the time because I was still very juvenile in my songwriting, but especially with other people. Like, I'd never done it, never bounced ideas off anyone. So it was a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of like almost like pop punk. It was a bit cheesy, but it was all right. Like, people still liked it and whatever, so that was cool. That's kind of how it started, like us meeting each other.
In terms of, though, like, bringing my brother on board, because that's when, so we had, our first lead guitarist was Luke, who's now based in Brisbane, who goes under the name Borderland State for his electro project, which is really awesome, by the way. So when he had to bail, it just goes in the way every time that, no matter what project I'm in or whatever, like, if someone has to leave, I always automatically try to bring my brother in somehow, just segue him into the group, like, whether it's Ghost of Japan or Nicole Cross's band back in the day and that sort of thing. Because I know that he's as versatile on guitar as I'm on drums in a way. So I knew, and he loves that sort of genre. I knew that he and Ted would get on like a house on fire in terms of like music taste and everything else like that. So yeah, I guess I got them and they started writing stuff together, just like what music is now. In terms of codes coming into the joint, I don't know, how are you?
We like, obviously we originally had our mate Ozzy on bass, but he was a bit busy with uni and stuff, and so I just pitched it to him. I was like, do you mind if we get someone else in? And we originally got our friend who tracked all our music. On bass.
Cheekbone.
It goes under Cheekbone. He has like a pretty cool electronic thing going as well. But he's a very like busy person. So he wasn't ever going to be able to commit fully. And so we had him for one show, which was the show that we did with Late November for the EP launch. Actually. Yeah. Was that the start of last year?
It was May last year.
Yeah, so we didn't know each other at all, and they kind of asked Sam if they could get us to play that show, and
we had no idea who
we did.
We just rocked up, played a set, like cool.
And that show honestly is still a highlight for me. Even though it was some of the biggest shows that we played with some big bands and stuff. The atmosphere and the kind of, even though Kodie didn't play, he was there though. But yeah, that show, that was the first show that Jason played. And I don't know, everything just felt really good. There was a good crowd there for Late November, and they were vibing our music, and everything just felt right. And like, not to say our shows haven't been good since, but like there was just something special about that night. And so I think after that we knew Kodie and the guys then, and then I don't know, I think Justin was the one that asked if he wanted to play.
Because I always knew, like, I know they were always hinting anyway that you'd want to join, or someone was saying like, just get Kodie in or something like that.
Probably Alex.
Yeah, it'd be Alex.
Yeah, for sure. So and I think we had some gigs on the horizon anyway, and then it just came down to us like just message Kodie because I knew that he would fit quite well and he's a fast learner and everything. And then that's pretty much been alive since November last year or something like that. November, December last year. Cruising along, it's going well.
Yeah, cool. You were saying before, like one of your highlight gigs being that one with Late November. Is there been like any other like amazing shows that stood out since then, or?
British India was awesome. There was like, I don't even know, like, as far as feelings, like how it felt, like British India felt like a really good show. Like when we came off stage, I don't know, we were exhausted, and I don't know, we had a lot of people come up to us and stuff, so that was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you reckon?
I don't know. I always have the feeling that those more intimate gigs are some of the better ones. Like the ones where the crowd is like right up there and you can like see them. And more recently, I was also like, fucking, I had to take a moment because like I saw that people were like singing along to our lyrics because we already had the EP out by then. I saw you singing along, and like I was like, that's so trippy, like to see, because obviously again I haven't really been used to like people singing a project that I'm involved in, because it's like no one's gonna be like like no one's gonna do that. So like when people are seeing like the motion stuff that Ted writes, it's just such a nice warm fuzzy feeling. Like again, despite like whatever opinion we have on our actual playing that we on that set, like it was just so nice to see like our complete strangers as well, who like actually appreciate the material. And so I mean last week for me maybe definitely up there as well. But I mean in terms of like bands that we play along with, like I'm a huge fan of Kodie. You can bleep that out too. Editor guy, hey, get rid of that one. Huge fan, FAN of Cog. The fact that we shared the same bill with like one of Australia's best alternative rock prog bands, just generally, is so freaking cool.
Yeah, it was a huge stage.
Yeah, and I mean we did a weekend with Dead Letter Circus as well, so we've actually, in our roster of the short time that we've actually been in this lineup, we've actually played some pretty dope shows. Yeah. So like to say like what's a highlight is like it's a bit sort of hard to say because we've done some crazy good ones.
I think on a personal like level, just within the Townsville community, our EP launch was super special. Especially because it was a Sunday and we were a little like not that we didn't have faith in people, but we were just like, it's a Sunday, it's a rock show or whatever, and are people actually gonna want to come? And we were stoked. We had like over 100 people there on a Sunday for an original live music event that, it was our show.
Yeah.
And so I think that was, as far as like feeling like it was something really special, like that
just knowing that those, at least each of those people in that room were there for your band, instead of like them being there for like another headliner like Wax or something like that. You just know that everyone has purchase those tickets, gone out of the way to get dressed, have dinner with their partner, and go to your show to see Motions play. Like, and that's huge. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So that means your EP's been out for like over a month now, has it been? Or like close to a month?
I don't know. Obviously, we released the two because it's a 3-track EP. But we released 2 singles. Like we put the Feather out at the start of the year, like February, but that was a different mix.
A different mix.
It's mixed differently now. It flows a bit better with the rest of the songs. But I don't know. It's probably been a month.
I'd say so.
So it was good because those songs, like I said, other than Bruised, the other 2 tracks have been around forever. Like especially for me. Yeah. So it was like, we're growing as a band pretty quickly, but I don't want these songs to just like we get rid of them out of set and they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and I really the songs are special to me, so I really wanted to give them some kind of justice and put them, like record them, so we had them there as something in our back catalogue kind of thing.
Actually put in the money and effort to get them like really nicely produced and mastered and everything like that too, because I know I think some bands sort of fall into the group where they just get too used to the DIY thing, and the potential in their songwriting might not be met with what the actual, like, they could sound freaking huge and amazing and all that sort of thing. Not just saying that ours is huge and amazing, but like we wanted to get like a big sound because when we play live, like that's what we try to like have, just a big fill the room sort of thing. So
even in retrospect, like we still could have got more out of the songs, but we did it the way we did it. We tracked it with a friend and then we sent it away to be mixed. I think, and that's fine and it worked for us. Like I think it still sounds good and we're happy with it, but I feel like we still could have got more out of them. I think for the next kind of release that we work on, we'd like to actually go into a studio and have that studio experience, have a producer involved that can have that kind of unbiased view and bounce things off you and be like, oh, that's shit, or, that's cool, let's go with that. Because really it was just us sending stuff and sending notes in between us and a guy in Melbourne who was like, Declan, he's awesome. Yeah. But, he can only do so much over the computer. So if we were there and we could, tweak things on the spot, that'd be awesome. So I think that's where we'll head for our next kind of thing.
Yeah, awesome. Do you guys have any like favorite like songs or favorite like parts of songs, moments from that EP that really stand out to you?
I don't know. We've played the song so much, but I think when we play live, definitely is the end of sounds. Is how we finish the set. It's kind of our closing song because it is so big and instrumental at the end, and that's where I think we pull in some of that kind of post rock influence and stuff, where it's just instruments and it's just big soundscapey, but it's still got that kind of heaviness underneath it, and we can kind of just let loose and just. So I think that's a good part of it for us when we play it anyway. Yeah.
In terms of, I don't know. I think just well, I'll probably say sounds as well, but mainly because like I like the drum groove in it. I don't want to pat myself on the back or anything like that. I'd be like, yeah, what a place, sick. But it's actually like I really like there's a hi-hat thing. It's like little fast triplets on the hi-hat throughout like all the verses. And I just like that sort of feel. I think I ripped it off Toto or something like that. Just that sort of feel, like if it's like a triplet, either a ride or hi-hat sort of rhythm, I totally like been listening way too much Toto, and then I sort of ran with that. So I think in terms of my playing in a song, I think the sounds like during the verses are probably my favorite ones, like the Ghost Nighty sort of things, fairly technical sort of stuff. But yeah, obviously the ending as well, just very open post-rock sort of things. And I know that's when the crowd like. Hopefully we'll win over some crowd as well because, yeah, people like that sort of stuff, I hope so. Yeah, it's cool to see that sort of reaction to our closer.
Yeah, I think mine's a bit more, I don't know, it's the bit in Bruise where Dan's got that guitar
it's a
lick.
little proggy kind of.
Oh, not even that bit, no, not the bit.
No.
I don't know.
It's leave that out.
Probably no, his tone just sounds like, I don't know, like a bird or something. I don't know.
Is that the kind of like at the end of the...
No, it's at the very start before vocals or
in the verse.
In the verse. Yeah.
Like really say like I can only imagine, and then there's like
wailing. I just thought it's gnarly.
Yeah,
but yeah, Dean's guitar in that song is really, really good too. It's probably some of my favorite guitar that. Whoops, kicking the table. Some of my favorite guitar that we have, purely because it's almost like unexpected. Like some of the parts come out of nowhere, and it's very like. Some of it sounds like stuff you'd hear in the 80s, almost like his lead guitar things. It's very, but it's not out of place, I suppose, as well. Yeah.
I think it's funny is like whenever I hear that part, because initially when we were jamming out that song, we called it Red Dead because we actually opened up with like sort of like a Western sort of like.
Yeah, when we start the
like
song.
Wild Wild West, we're playing. This is when Red Dead came out. So we wanted like a cowboy sort of theme thing. So we did like lots of licks and stuff. Ted will play like these chords that sounded very much like something you hear out of like a.
And then we had a bit of tumbleweed.
Yeah, and so like obviously the sort of mood of that song has changed a bit from like just a Western sort of like vibe, but like I think. It reminds me of like an eagle or a hawk or something like that when he plays that. I think I don't know if he was going for that, but it's fucking cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, no, that's good. The real question is, what's that EP called? Like, what's the signal?
So it doesn't have a name, like a word per se, but it's got 3 dots.
Yeah.
And the 3 dots signify each dot is a track, and on the actual EP itself, the dots are coloured, and each dot colour is a song. I guess I'm trying to explain this without sounding like an idiot. But the colours of the dots represent each track, and we picked a colour that we thought fit the mood and the theme behind the song. Instead of like, because it's not an album, we didn't want to be all wanky and have like a full name for it or whatever. Like, and that's just something that popped into my head, and then we kind of brainstormed it, and I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And it's the same as like on your shirt, like the 3 dots. So,
yeah.
But we didn't want to pay extra for coloured dots.
So it just works out. Like I don't know if we'll use those 3 dots ever again for merge or something like that. We might have some other like
we'll do something
minimalist sort of BS. But like I don't know, for that run of the EP, like that shirt, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
To have three songs, 3 dots.
Yeah.
Different moods.
So if I was trying to talk to my squad fam about this EP,
Mm.
do I say, "Oh, have you heard dot dot," or do I just say like the Motions EP?
Yeah,
Just
I think
Like,
because
is that how you've been referring to it?
yeah,
mostly?
I would just say Motions EP because like probably the next release we have will probably have there might be some words involved. Yeah, maybe we'll see how we go, but
Might take some squares.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, like probably not dot dot dot. You can call it dot 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 if you want. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Sounds silly though, so
Yeah.
maybe don't do it.
That's actually really cool. So what you're saying, like, what is like future plans? What are we kind of hoping for Motions from here?
Look, I feel like we've had a lot of this music that we've had in the set's been around for a while. So for me personally, it's getting some new music and really figuring out what our sound is going forward. Not that we do have a sound, but I still think we haven't really honed in on it. So I think it'll be having working on another release or a bunch of songs or whatever, that kind of fortify who we are as a band.
And we'll try to, I think we're going to jump on the wagon of just releasing probably EP length things at a time.
Yeah, I don't
instead
think
of an
we'll
album.
Yeah, albums not anytime soon, but EPs or singles I think will be how we do it. It's a lot more achievable and financially viable.
Yeah. And people lose interest equally as much out of an EP as they do an album. So you could write 8 or 9 songs. People listen to it, digest that crap, and then they would be waiting for the next thing. Whereas if we do it a bit at a time,
you may as well pick the 5 best songs, instead of putting out 5 songs and 4 fillers or whatever, But so I think it'll just be developing what's next for us as far as our sound, without losing who we are as well. And hopefully just playing more shows, not necessarily just here, but trying to play shows outside of Townsville, so we can further our reach that way. So just keep going. I'm relocating to Brisbane at the end of the year for work. So that's kind of it's a spanner in the works, but it's not at the same time. The band's super important to me, so I think as long as everyone's on the same page, and if I'm the only one down there for a while, it's only one flight to come back here for a show.
Yeah.
And if we plan things well in advance, or as well as we can, and everyone's kind of on board, we can go away for shows and stuff as well. People do it all the time. So I think at this point, it's not any kind of thing for me to want to end it, and I don't think anyone else wants to either. So
speaking of Brisbane as well, I don't know if it's I don't know if I could even say anything, but we actually have been asked to play a show in Brisbane with this other band in October. So hopefully it all checks out, because they made an effort. They're a Melbourne band, but they made an effort to hit us up directly and do an opening for them for a single launch.
Yeah, so it's
in October. So it's but it's just the fact. Even if it doesn't happen, it's just the fact that they've actually asked us at all to just potentially play a show for them. That's huge to us.
Especially the fact that we're Townsville based as well, not from Brisbane. They could have just got somebody from Brisbane. That would have been easy.
Unless I think we're from Brisbane.
We just won't tell them.
Just don't tell them.
It's like any band in Queensland is from Brisbane. So,
It's Queensland vibe, just Queensland band. Yeah.
Pretty much. So grooving. Anyway,
John, hit him with your question. Your favourite question, Jesse.
Oh, it's not even that good. The more I ask it, the less I like it.
We have to ask it that.
Okay. So we talked about before your good gigs, had a great time.
Yeah.
We love it. Have you had any gigs that haven't gone so well?
I thought we already talked about that. Was that Mackay show?
As my
Well, yeah. Is that the whole question?
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
See what I mean? It's getting boring.
Yeah, no, I get you. Well, we
could dig a little bit deeper about this Mackay one for sure.
Yeah, I think that. I don't want to
No, we're not going to rag on.
No, I don't want
on the bands on the bill. It was just we just weren't suited for that show. I mean, it's clear as day. There's obviously metalcore fans there, and the rest of the bill was 110% that. It was perfect for them. We were the guys, and we were the boy band of the evening.
I felt like we were bloody I don't know, wolf mother. It just like, not that that's what we sound like, but it's like in contrast to who else was playing.
Yeah.
We were just like this. Who are you, man? And I was like, fuck, I like heavy music, man. But this is nuts. But yeah. So that's
and that's only in terms of like the crowd response.
yeah.
So like we probably played okay that night.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And I felt crook as like I had the influenza that everyone seems to have had this year, but so that knocked me around. I was only just getting over that, and I didn't want to pull out of a show because I was like, oh, we're playing Mackay, that's somewhere different.
Yeah, it's our first time playing a show in Mackay, I think. Anyway, so we
jumped on it
step up to it.
Like go down there.
Yeah, again, big up to Jaden from Native Tongue for asking us to do it at all. Like that's awesome. We're not shitting on him like that.
No.
We don't want to like bend any bridges at all, but it's just that bill is just a little bit different. He
really wanted us to play, and they're all our friends. And so,
exactly. We'll back them if they ask us to do another one like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's probably the only like less than desirable experience that we've had.
I mean, every other show, like the Luca Brasi show or one of the Dead Letter Circus shows, Ted is notorious for breaking a string.
Yeah.
So
I haven't broken one for a few shows.
Yeah.
That
I know that you get grilled for your drumming on the desk. So when Ted did it,
that was me touching wood.
Yeah.
I think it had a lot to do with I hadn't had my guitar like set up properly. I bought it. It's a really nice guitar, but I brought it like brand new, and it was set up at the time. But guitars, they kind of age, and they the action moves and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was breaking strings like every show, and it sucked because I'd like change them that week, and then I don't know, maybe I was just getting into it more. But ever since I've had it, like I took it to Artie's, and I was like, bruh, this is what's going on. Can you help me? And I didn't really want to change the saddles to graphite ones to because they have less friction. It's supposed to help. But he sorted it all out for me, and it's played great ever since, and I haven't broken a string yet. So hopefully that continues, because I was always breaking strings, and it was super embarrassing because I didn't have a spare guitar. It's just shit when you've got like the rest of the band standing up there awkwardly playing elevator music or whatever, and I'm just like off the side of the stage, just ripping this string off, and like it's not coming out, so I'm just like, come on, man, there's like a couple hundred people out there waiting, and and then like literally putting a string on off the side of the stage and getting out there and just whirling it up and hoping for the best. But
well, I had to like almost do an intro like stand up routine for the Dead Letter Circus show in Cairns. It was just like awkward, like
it sucks.
I went up there with
always
my
feel
beer,
real
I'm like,
guilty.
oh my God.
I always feel real guilty, and I just look back because I know what Justin's face is going to look like. I look back and I'm like,
yeah.
For fuck's sake.
It's always towards like one of the heaviest parts in one of our songs too. I think it's during we have a song called Hellraiser, which has like two sort of like heavy breakdown sort of moments. So I think that one like Ted's probably drive into a bit harder.
Just get a dig into
and
it.
towards the actual final breakdown of the song where like it really counts, like that's when he loses it. It's like
and then it sounds like trash. Just playing my A string when it's supposed to be real deep and doomy. But anyway.
But we all have our little technical things. Like actually at Neck of the Woods, that set like actually lost my kick beater for like a few bars at the end of the song. I think it was towards the end of others as well. Like people know that song, and like I want to still play, so I had to compensate by hitting the floor tom as my kick drum.
I think
towards the end of the
symbol also.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So big up to like JT from America for like saving me twice that show, because like one of the cymbal stands was like just given away, and I was like, just I don't want to do my thing. So yeah, man, drums suck.
What about you, Kodie? Apart from otherwise, have you had any real big bass problems?
Oh no.
Not bass problems, but that Mackay show, I had I don't know, I had work in the morning, so I had to get up at 4:30 and leave to drive back to Townsville for work. That wasn't actually the issue though. The issue was that there was some bloke, and he was under the influence of a lot of things, it looked like, and I had my beer up the front of the stage, you know, just where it should be, and then he comes up, grabs it, takes a swig, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of the song, and I'm like, I can't do anything. Yeah, that was probably my My least favourite moment of a gig.
Oh, that is pretty shitty.
I nearly knocked over Dead Letter Circus's drum kit at the end of our set. Because they had their kit set up, and we were just set up off to the side of it.
Yeah.
And at the end of our set, I was getting real into it, and I've swung back, and my guitar's just like nearly knocked all their cymbals and shit over, but it wasn't too bad. It was all good. Nothing fell over, but I was a bit like, oh, sorry guys. Yeah, other than that, I mean, Luke Brasi had some issues at the shows we played with them.
Yeah, that was one of the bigger like broken string sort of like cases that. Yeah, it sort of sucked.
Well, when I broke the string,
yeah,
I was talking about when Luke Brasi broke their kick drum.
Oh yeah, that's it.
we were like a pit crew changing out a kick drum.
Yeah, so luckily I had my kick drum in my car at the front of the venue, and Luke Brasi's drummer, he hits really hard. Like he's a fit dude, fit as hell, but obviously that kick drum's been taking a beat in the whole tour, so it was his own kit. And so like I could just tell that the skin, it was like an EMAD, but even though it was an EMAD, it was still like starting to get floppy and losing layers, like it was double layer. And so I could tell that it was going to go through. And then I wrote a message on my phone going up to him side stage because he was at the end of it, like it was going to go through. And I was like, pretty much said like, I have a kick drum in my car, do you want it? And I had like 3-5 songs left. And he was like, he just gave me the nod. So I just rushed my car, barging through the crowd, got this kick drum, walked through the crowd with a kick drum over my head. And we're just waiting for like the perfect moment, like for us to change it over. So we set it up, ready to go, and then I was like telling these guys like, you grab the mic, you move the kick drum, and I'll slide it in and put his beater on. And it was like the fastest like 30 seconds.
It was so smooth. We were so stoked with ourselves.
Yeah. So that was a highlight, I guess. That's a highlight, switching over kick drum for Luca Brasi. So if anything, we better road text than we are musicians. So,
and that was super nice dudes, and we had a great time playing the show with them. So
yeah, that was cool. Yeah. Hopefully they come back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You ready?
Oh, dude, game time.
Oh, sick.
Nice.
What are we playing?
So Brendan made this game. And this is totally Brendan's thing. I'm just running.
Are you just pre-blaming Brendan for like?
Yep.
So this is gonna be trash.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. No, just because he always like kind of leads the interview. I lead the game because I like games. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you more?
I'm just gonna do this.
That is still up on the
Are
screen.
you just gonna show us like all this like gross imagery for like no reason?
Yeah, it's all just like gore. And No, okay. So basically, what we're doing, it's what did you call it, Brendan?
Is this on the next line? Ka-chow.
The guessing game.
Okay.
Right there for you guys.
Cool.
So 5 rounds. We got 3 pictures of the same person, and it's just zoomed in like real far.
Yep.
So you get 1 guess each per picture of who it is, and then.
So 3 of the same. Okay, 3 of the same. So.
Yeah. So you gotta guess who it is. Whoever guesses it. Are we doing first? Are we buzzing in? What's up, Brendan?
Yeah. We could do that.
We do that. We'll buzz in. You all have to buzz in with your voices because we don't have a buzzer.
So we just say, hey.
Bang on the table. Whoever hits louder.
Yeah, whoever breaks the table first.
I'll be Ted for sure.
Oh, sorry.
Alright.
That can be your buzzer.
Are these timed?
Not
Between the
officially.
3? Okay.
Yeah, if you take
Just when you start not knowing who it is, I'll wing it to the next one.
Okay.
We'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
sweet.
Keep track of your own points.
Oh, really? Can I have a pen?
We have 1 pen.
And we've already lost it.
Oh.
Not even worried.
That was a ladder.
Ladder's coming down. Sets
For those
breaking.
listening at home, there's a ladder just fell over.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Boom.
Awesome. All right.
You can be the point master, Justin.
All right, for everyone.
Okay. This is round 1. Are we ready? Oh, hang on. He's writing everyone's names. We need to know.
Should we split them up with a good line there, bud?
Yeah. Seriously.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call
No
myself.
friends in the guessing game.
I'm calling myself Flynn for no reason.
Shout out to the funny gyms.
Yeah, shout out to the Funny Gyms. Was that on your most recent one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one. I think.
2 ago.
Second.
Okay, 2
Second
ago.
most
All right.
recent.
Wow, you forgot that Gus already?
Oh, I love you
Oh,
guys.
that's right. I missed that Gus one.
Good episode.
It's good. It's up on
Alright,
YouTube.
I'll
VIP
check it out.
Pass.
Yeah. Just plug your
Plug it,
stuff.
man.
Because like you just share it, but man, you just plug like other episodes in like the current one, and then because this is like your 3rd or 4th filmed one.
Fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Cool.
So subscribe,
Yeah.
hit like,
We'll share the hell out of it.
turn notifications on.
Yeah. Please.
Just we need it. All right. Anyone wants to sponsor us?
Monster Energy or something. Like, anyone?
Oh, I would take salt.
Can you guys imagine, like, down the line, if, like, you get sell the fuck out, like, you have to wear all this, like, these Monster Energy, like, sweatband and stuff, like, go full Jonathan Davies,
I
like,
zero shame. I'll do that right now.
alright, even if they're not endorsing you, just sell them. So, what can we do today? So, hey,
Spring water.
Coles,
Goals.
what snacks do you guys have here?
Got any Ooshie's?
Is that
We have so many of those, but they're not
I've
in
got
here.
so many bloody gnarls, it's not funny anymore. It's bullshit.
Can we talk about
How many gnarls did they
Ooshie's?
make?
Ooshie's?
We've only got like 3 left, and Mum's really excited. 'cause we
Really?
almost have
We're not
everyone.
even close.
Man,
But we haven't got the furry one yet.
marketplace
No,
is
it
gonna
needs
blow
to
up.
I saw someone
You've
do
got a
that.
blue one.
Yeah,
You've got
we
an
got
orange
that.
one. You've got an orange one.
Oh yeah, they did like all the same one, and just in
Yeah,
different
just
colours.
different colours. It's like, I don't know if it's contributing to the total amount. But anyway.
Good. I'm just ready.
I wasn't into it. I was totally against it. And my housemate, like our whole like windowsill at the sink is now Ooshie's. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just checking this.
Ooshie's.
Yeah. Ooshie's good.
Nice.
So I feel rude doing this during the actual
No,
podcast.
it's a good
nuts,
time.
Should.
We will
Oh,
take any promo we can
There's
get.
there's also a prize for whoever wins.
Oh,
It's an Ooshie, isn't it? It's an
No,
Ooshie.
it's not, but
I will.
also
If I win, I want your Rarest sushi.
I don't think I have the pull in the family to do that, but I'll find a way.
That's sweet. Alright, before we get into this, I just want to say that the 600ml Australian Natural Spring Water Refreshingly Good Coles is probably like the best bottled water I've had in 2 days.
Whoa,
So
that's a
I'd go
lot of
Coles.
days.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone ready for round 1?
Alrighty.
Do you all have your buzzers in mind?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Alright.
3, 2, 1, Shazam.
I know who that is.
Looks like the guy.
Make a buzzer sound.
Looks like the guy of Harry Potter, right?
I want to say.
We've had a buzz.
Oh, no, I could be wrong. It could just be any old man.
You know
We've
the
had
guy
a
with the
buzz.
cat?
I want to
You know the guy
say.
with the cat
Oh, yeah.
on Harry Potter? It kind of looks like his eyebrow.
Did you buzz?
No, I'm just
Yeah,
talking.
you're gonna buzz next time.
Like, having a good time.
No, but yeah, well,
That's right, I'm changing the rules. If you buzz in and you're wrong, you're locked out until the next person.
all right.
Oh, really?
I don't know
Okay,
what
I'm
that
just going to
is.
lock myself out because my dumb brain thinks David Attenborough.
Is that an official guess?
That is my guess, and I'll see you next round.
See you next round. Also, I'm changing the rules again. If you get it on the first one, you get 3 points. The
Oh.
second one, you get 2 points.
Oh,
The third
so
one,
I
you
could have
get
just
1 point.
waited.
It's
So-
alright.
So do you go to a different
I'm
picture
impatient.
next?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
No, I don't know because his other eye doesn't look as old as his other eye.
Other people watching this on YouTube's going to see what the hell we're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay,
They'll know
cool.
what we're doing.
Just no context.
Look,
People that are listening to this are going to have no idea.
I'm at Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
What?
Cody, this is all on you.
Nah.
And you get the final
Like, go,
picture.
Harry.
Oh, Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, what, man?
It is Trump from the White House.
Oh, damn.
Not to be confused with Trump from, not the White House.
I'm sorry, Clint.
Can't believe
I
it.
respect Clint.
I was like David Attenborough. I can't believe David Attenborough from Trump.
Alright.
Anyway.
Okay, next person. Boom.
Oh, yep.
Oh, you know that blonde chick?
Yeah, it's just an Damn it.
Oh,
No.
God, I know that head.
From where? Is this a head you look at often?
No, I don't know.
Okay, well.
Oh!
No, you know what?
Oh.
Is it worth the risk?
Let me just take a drink of this Coles bottled water.
Oh, God. I don't know.
Sure thing.
I feel like I've seen this person.
I'm sure you have. Is that everyone's clueless?
This last
Yeah,
one, though,
last
I'm ready to.
Oh,
Is it? Did you buzz? Is that
I buzz.
He,
I buzz.
yeah. Let him have it.
Margot Robbie.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'll give you that.
Is it?
Yeah, she's good looking.
points.
Yeah, she's a good looking chick.
Yeah.
Why I met someone at uni who's one of my friends, and her cousin is Margot Robbie. but
This
she's
why I grew up.
never met her.
Oh, classic, classic
So I don't know if I
claim.
believe it or not.
Classic family claim, that one.
Yeah. Well, my
Right.
family claim is like Travis Fimmel
Yeah.
guy from Viking. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
He's
but he's
Australian.
from country Victoria.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
nice.
from
He's like, yeah,
Echuca, I think.
yeah.
But
So-
is that how has that got anything to do with you?
Because like we're talking about relatives to famous people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it
Some
now.
are famous.
Yeah,
do you mean you're
it was
famous?
it's been funny. I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've been serious because I've never met him either.
She's like pretty young too. I thought she was older than she is.
Oh, how old did you think she was?
Do we
I don't know, like older than me, like 28 or something.
How old is
I think
That's
she's younger than
old.
me.
That's
actually.
Brennan, how old is she?
20. Yeah, we're gonna go 28.
Is she 28?
I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure she was like 24 or 25 or something.
She's young. It's alright.
Who's putting the graphics on this? They should just
Jordan.
have the IMDb.
Jordan.
Can you put the IMDb
Jordan.
image
Right
of her
here.
age?
Anyway, I think I'm wrong, but maybe
It's
not.
alright. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh,
Oh,
Black and white. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
You gotta,
Well, I forgot who this one was, and I definitely thought it was someone else. That's right, I'm with it.
the second picture is like.
This one's real hard.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
Did I hear a buzz?
Oh,
No, sorry.
Buzz. Buzz? Buzz?
Oh, you
Yes, 30.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr.
Very nice.
What?
is it? Oh, it is.
Are you kidding me?
What spoiler alert?
I didn't think
That's
who
2
that
points
was.
as well.
2 points
Two
for that
points.
one. 'cause you
Cody's
got it on
very,
the second.
Cody's very.
Wait, he rocked up here before we did.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, we just gave him the answer sheet.
What a
Yeah,
handsome gentleman.
VIP Pass honor.
I'm not-
We did not.
Okay. All right.
I'm not doing well.
Alright.
It's okay. You guys can still come back.
Thanks.
If you guess this straight away, 3 points.
Cheers, this one right away. I'll give you 20 points.
120p.
That's like the lowest rate.
Oh, Beyonce.
He just flipped out of there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Beyonce, the single lady.
Queen Beyonce, the single. She's not single.
Anymore.
Brendan did this, I told you.
I think it's because of the song. I think.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Nice.
No scrubs.
So it was what, 2 points for Ted?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alright.
Okay, this one, when Brendan showed me, I got on the first picture. And I don't know if that I should be worried about that or not, so you guys are going to
Oh, really?
For 3 points.
Oh, well, look at that. Oh. I want
Justin, at this point, you need to guess.
I don't have.
You need to guess. I'll give you 4 points on
Me?
this one if
Yeah.
you can get it from here, because then you'll tie.
Me as Flynn.
It's got a pretty mouth.
Thing is, I don't know. I want to say Tony Robbins, the entrepreneur guy, but
It's absolutely not.
That's a very abstract.
100% that is not the answer.
oh god.
Nah, I'm sorry. No.
Zoom out.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
Good damn.
Dude
Right?
is on.
What the
fire.
hell? Man? How do you tell that from someone's lips?
Pretty good.
I love how you put like what they're from Brad Pitt from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. No shit. Like,
Again.
Alright.
Not all the other movies. He's in.
yeah.
Okay, so
Alright, we got a transition slide.
this one's pretty exciting.
Oh,
No. What the like,
Triple points in the bonus round, which means anybody could win.
So yeah. So
why that image?
I don't know, Brendan, why that image?
Maybe
because that's how excited you'd be if you get triple points. So yeah, first
Okay.
time if you
Yeah,
get it right, 9 points. Second picture, 6 points. Third picture, 3 points.
Yes, we know how maths works.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ready?
And this one is the hardest one.
Oh, dude.
Cody!
Damn it.
That's 9 points.
How many points am I
9
giving this?
points.
You got that so quickly.
Kodie from Motions and Late November, dressed as a fucky looking red dude.
Oh man, that's a nice image.
I thought I had that in the bag, eh? I
Did
was
you?
my own undoing.
Damn. How'd you get that so quickly?
Because I've been looking at that photo recently.
I was like, who has the hair?
I saw the red. I saw the red.
I got a little bit of red
Yeah.
on there.
Nice.
Some guy from the 90s rap group or something like that.
What's the
It's really not the best photo of me.
I don't think it's the best photo of any of us.
No, we
I
look
don't know.
fine.
I think you're
I would-
looking alright.
I'm pretty sure Jason never looks bad in anything.
Yeah, no, I think it looked good in
Yeah,
it.
What's
Whack shit.
the story behind that picture?
Oh yeah,
We're
so
just bored one day.
yeah, it's not been it's not been released yet, but our good friend Rob Crisp, who actually directed our first music video a few years ago now, he is it like it's called We Don't Dream Anymore. It's a big project. It was about engaging musicians that have a connection to Townsville or just creative people in general. And it's a big, basically live performance piece with different acts throughout. And we were lucky enough to be asked to do one of them. And we played a song and should be out. We don't know when, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's actually getting the date sorted out this
Yeah.
week, so hopefully by the time this one's out,
yeah.
it will be all over Facebook when this will actually drop as well. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Sweet.
Alright.
But yeah, it's all live though, so it's like it's crazy good imagery.
Oh, I know that we played this song not to pace.
yeah,
So it's like
yeah. So yeah,
it's raw. It's
very
the production,
raw.
the filming is amazing. Like everything is done so well.
Yeah.
Because I think out of all the bands involved in that one, we're the only one that like did it raw in terms of like no click track. So yeah, it's just us doing a raw performance of one of our songs. But it's
I wouldn't say like it's the best sounding we've ever been or anything, but it is raw and it does pay compliments to the point of the whole thing. So
yeah,
Very nice.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Very exciting.
yeah,
What was it?
Oh,
again?
vroom,
Is
vroom.
that the same one?
No, that's the really shitty Lancer.
So, yeah,
Don't rag on Lancers, man. That's my first car.
Well, it's my sister's first car. It's a shitbox.
All right.
well, that's saying something about you.
Yeah, well.
it's a Corolla's are where it's at.
All right.
Zoom in on that.
Your car, like, floated.
Yep.
What was that?
It's underwater.
I don't
Well,
want-
it's not anymore.
I don't want to look at this photo
Scrapyard.
anymore.
Just hang on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There you
Back to that.
Wait, was that it now?
Yeah, see.
Oh damn it! I thought we still had like I didn't realize that you meant like that was it. I thought there was 3 more things. Not
Triple points.
yeah, no, I get it. So I won.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, the
Like,
prize.
The final points tally was
Suck it.
11 to 6. And then
Flynn
with
got
0.
Oh, Flynn, you suck.
And now we got the grand prize. Oh my god,
Ready?
so exciting.
Ready?
Brendan also bought this. Don't blame me.
What did I win?
Merry Christmas.
Fucking yo.
Oh, wow.
I haven't had a yo-yo since. This is cool, man.
You have to do it. Open it up. Show us the yo.
How does
Ted walk with emotions?
Yeah.
Like the yo-yo.
Can he still yo-yo?
nice, man.
This is
Yeah.
like an unboxing video too.
Yeah.
So you guys got to get some hella money out of this.
Let's see if I can.
It lights up too when you yo-yo it. I don't know what the verb for yo-yo is.
You want to do it on camera?
Yeah, here, it's alright, we'll move.
Let's see. How long is the cord? I'm not very tall.
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Hit the floor.
Oh,
Oh,
he's still got it.
Yeah, like a bit rough. Let's see.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
Whoa,
Wow. All right. Yeah. All right.
Last time I did that, I was about 12 years old.
Really?
I'm taking you back to your childhood.
Throwing it back.
So yeah, if people want to find you guys, where's the best place to go?
We're on all of them. All
Justin's
of those.
address.
Yeah.
Air Street, guys want to follow.
Yeah, look, when we upload our music, we do it via a distribution company, so we choose for it to go to, I think it's like Apple Music, Google Play?
Google Play, I think we're on,
Spotify.
but predominantly Spotify.
Spotify is what everyone uses.
That's
Yeah.
it's a big lad.
We have a Bandcamp, which you can listen to stuff.
Yes.
like
So yeah, it's weird. Not too many bands sort of jump on it these days because everyone's so fixated on just streaming. But in terms of wanting the hella good quality to keep, we actually set up the Bandcamp page as well. So you could download our EP even in FLAC, I think, or the highest bit rate that you can get. Because obviously, like our EPs, like we want it to be like loud and powerful and actually sound good. Whereas Spotify, I know like there's a certain threshold in terms of like the bit rate that you can get through streaming.
Yeah.
So we actually implore people to, and you could actually, if you don't want to pay for it as well, like you could download for free at its highest quality. But if you want to, you're given the option to like chuck a couple
more than welcome to
50
throw money
cents.
at it if
Yeah.
you want.
More than
We're going to
helpful.
ask you to do that if
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to. We understand everybody's got
But
different
a little bit
things going on. But
Yeah.
you know, if
Yeah, support
you
your local
appreciate
bands.
our music And, you know, every dollar we put away and it goes towards whatever we do next.
Further endeavors.
We're not just like buying a 6-pack.
Yeah.
You know, like it goes towards what we're doing. So
yeah. In terms of shirts, we might have some left.
We have a few of the larger sizes in white.
Yeah.
I think we have one pretty big.
Yeah.
Navy
So
one
if you
left.
have a missus, that'd be a nice bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you have any mates that you know, like to wear bigger shirts or whatever, we still have a few left.
Yep.
If they sit there for too long, maybe we'll
probably take the price down or whatever. Do a fire sale.
Yeah. But yeah. I say we'll do another run of merch at some point, but
Yeah.
we're not rushing into that. But yeah, we'll get there. What else? We have Triple J Unearthed, obviously, which is, you know, we get that up there to see if anyone else is paying attention, I guess. But it's very hot and cold, that.
Yeah.
And I think that's.
And obviously our Facebook. I don't know if we've already said that.
Yeah.
That's out. That's
and
out.
if you ever want to like contact us, Facebook is the place.
But hopefully everyone listening to this is already on our Facebook and these guys as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to
chuck us a like. We've got an Instagram. We've got all that stuff. I think Facebook's probably our predominantly like that's where our presence is.
Yeah.
As far as like sharing what we're doing and yeah. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And then stick around till the very end, guys. And then these guys are gonna be playing some cool music. If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah. We'll do like the most low key motions thing you'll ever hear.
Nice. And yeah, we're also VIP Pass. You can find us on Facebook, also Instagram, VIP_Pass_. Also, the audio version, anchor.fm/VIP-Pass. We're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, just wherever you get your fix. And then of course YouTube now as well. So the video version of this will be up. Check that out if you're listening to this audio that way. Yeah.
Also, follow my personal page, just because I need a boost.
What is that?
My personal page is broken.symmetry.music. I named it that, and I still haven't released any music.
You gotta get onto that.
But it's coming, my EPs and stuff.
Do you have any like samples, or can we like listen to something?
Absolutely not.
No,
like nothing's ready. Like I'm very disorganized where I've got it all.
Okay.
I just need to actually put it together so I can release it.
Sweet.
Do it.
Okay, man.
So
yeah.
Then one day we'll open for you guys.
Yeah, sweet.
sorry, just include yourself.
Yeah.
In my thing, and then in their thing.
Yeah. That's how you set it up, Jesse. You gotta be bold.
Yeah. Plant the seed.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Sweet.
Or listening.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Cheers to return in 3. No.
G'day everyone. We're Motions, and this is a song off our latest release, and it's called Feather. Why don't you tell me when I look you in the eyes? I need so bad you don't want me in your life. Why don't you tell me when I look you in the eyes? I need so bad you don't want me in your life. It's been a long way home, and we're not coming back. It's been a long way home for us. Whoa.